Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. Today's topic is a comment that Latoya Luckett said the other day. You all know her as a singer and an actress. Well, she and I believe her second husband, are on their way to divorce. And the comment that she made recently was, her third marriage, her husband will come before the children. And this is a topic that I have answered multiple times online. I don't think I've ever really discussed it here on my channel. And it's going to be my opinion, it's going to be an incendiary one because so many women in our community have their children out of order. So they don't understand that the husband is supposed to come first. And by the husband coming first does not mean neglecting your children. For the people who are believers, and you don't even have to bring the Bible into this, but when children are born into a marital union, they just instinctively know it's mommy, daddy, and then them. In the biblical order, it's God, it's the husband, the wife, and then children. What happens when you have a child or children with one man over there, and then you marry a man who has no biological ties to those children? What happens is the mother usually self-consciously, or it could be on purpose, she's going to pick a side. And I don't think that it's necessarily done to hurt the child or the husband, but you're a human being and you're not going to be able to, it's just going to eventually manifest itself. You're going to pick your children's side and it's going to cause strife in your marriage, or you're going to pick your husband and you're going to cause strife with your children. I was a stepchild, and I've mentioned it. It's going to be a video probably before this one when I'm talking about Kirk Franklin and Tupac Shakur and the whole father situation. And I mentioned when you're a child, I said children are not stupid. They can sense when something is off. And even though I was a kid and I couldn't articulate it, I knew I was the odd person out. I might have been 4 or 5 years old, but I sensed I was not okay because, my mother married my stepfather, and then they had 2 sons, my brothers. And even as young as 4 and 5 years old, I felt the dynamic was off. My mother loved me, but she was still torn between me and her husband. But one thing that I've noticed with women that I know who got married and then had their children, this is never an issue. Because as I said, when you have children the correct way within a marriage, it just instinctively falls into place. It's only when a woman has a child or children with one man or men, she goes on to marry another man, and now she's between her children and her spouse. And I know that this video, if somebody who doesn't understand my channel stumbles across this, it's going to trigger some women. And I don't care, because I'm tired of, like pussyfooting around people's feelings. The single motherhood rate in our community, it has to start changing. It's got to change. But that's not what this video is about. It's about Latoya Luckett and the comment that she made that her husband is going to come before the children. And it's only going to be an issue because she's talking about marrying a man who has no biological ties to her children. And when I read her quote, she's talking about the Bible and the order, how God's order is and all of that stuff. Well, if she knows all of that, then she would not have 2 divorces under her belt, because God also does not like divorce. Now, I don't know why she's getting a divorce. I don't agree with with divorce. I mean, unless, of course, there is infidelity or any type of abuse. I'm not talking about women staying in those situations, but that's a different topic altogether. So, YouTube family, what say you? Who comes first, the husband or the children? And I'm going to reiterate it. When it's done in the order that it's supposed to be done, you got married, then you have your children, you don't have those issues. Oh, and that's something else that I wanted to say. I've also noticed when some women have their new children, it's like the children that they had with another man becomes like an afterthought. I've seen that happen before, where the children from a previous relationship is like shipped off somewhere else to a grandparent or another relative, so that mother can bond with her husband and the children that they have together. I don't agree with that either. So that's why I champion the whole get yourself married, then bring your babies into this earth. So tell me your thoughts, and I will talk to you later. Oh, please check out my other videos, like, subscribe, and please comment below. Who comes first, the husband or the children? And I'm sorry, I'm going to make one more comment. When you are married, a husband and wife, you are one. It is your responsibility to raise your children so that they can grow up to be productive adults, citizens of America, and they go on to create their families in a healthy way to where that they could grow their lives together with a husband and a wife, stuff like that. You have to put your spouse first, because when your children grow up and leave the house, that's going to leave you and your spouse. And you two do not want to be strangers because you spent all of your years putting your children before your actual spouse. And then you two are strangers when the children leave the house. So that was my topic for today. I promise I'm not going to come back, and I will talk to you later. Bye.